You talk to a lot of Salesforce customers, obviously. What's the general sentiment? Where are they headed? Because what I'm hearing from large enterprises, they're looking at a bunch of options, right? They can
Mhm,
obviously pick what Salesforce has. They can pick Microsoft Copilot. They can pick like a ton of
mhm,
AI studio
mhm.
type solutions, what we do at GPTfy. So there's a lot of products that try to solve pieces of the puzzle from a enterprise's perspective that has, I don't know, 150 to 1500 systems somewhere in there. What are you seeing with customers? How are they thinking about it? And what are their challenges just bringing AI to Salesforce?
I think honestly, their challenges are more around understanding how do they solve this at an enterprise level over and beyond Salesforce also. How do these agentic things talk to each other? So if you're thinking about agents outside the Salesforce realm as well, right? And so I think they are struggling with this notion of how do I go all in on a Salesforce solution for agentic AI, or are there other solutions out there that can still address it and still provide the data security and provide everything? And can I still enable it in the customer experience? I think they're still trying to answer these questions. Meanwhile, I feel Salesforce is getting stronger in terms of being all in on AI and Agentforce and Data Cloud, and they're also maturing the solution. So I think the trust factor should improve, in my opinion, because their journey is also very nascent, right? So they're also going through this journey of bringing confidence, right? That, hey, this platform makes every bit of sense to you. But people want choices, right? People, by definition, every buyer wants choice. They want to see, hey, what are the alternatives which are equally relevant, maybe more cost effective, simpler solutions. Maybe they address something. So it's not mutually exclusive. It can be that some things are addressed by some other solution versus the Salesforce solution. So I think people are looking for alternatives as well, in my opinion, to see what else can I think of by way of a solution. And do I want to be all in on this platform? The last thing I'll say is transparency around cost is very important, because how do you project a cost for consumption and storage and so on, right? I think they want answers to be pretty accurate. They want to know what is it going to be transaction cost, what is it going to be on something like Agent Force, what is it going to be my compute and storage cost on Data Cloud? Can I do it without Data Cloud, or what does it matter? So I think all these questions are getting asked from customers, enterprise customers, right? So it's just about bringing the overall value proposition to be strong enough in terms of the solution, the time to value, the overall cost that they're looking at, and the efficiencies that it brings. So it's really solving the business problem. In a way, it's agnostic to the product in a weird way, right? I want AI. I don't know what AI I want. Do I want Salesforce AI? Do I want this? I want AI. I want these efficiencies. Now craft me a solution that addresses this and shows me that you can deliver it quick, you can deliver it and get me the efficiencies and savings. So I think if you abstract from the technology part, they are open to all sorts of ideas. They just want to solve the problem and bring AI and help innovate faster and bring efficiencies. I think it's become a business problem more than just a technology problem, right? So I think that's what they want. And the larger problem is that is what they want anyone to address now. So the conversation is really going towards, hey, I get all that. I get Salesforce. I get this, but bring me a solution and show me that it'll work. And reliability wise, lots of things, right? I don't want to go to an unproven solution. I don't even know if these guys have been in the market for 6 months. Why would I go and invest with them? Would I not go with a trusted platform? Those are critical considerations.
Yeah, no, I think one thing I really like that you said is that it has definitely become a business problem more than
Right.
I talk to a lot of enterprise architects, and I think that's an area where they are constantly challenged. It is no longer about it's Salesforce's, it's Agentforce or GPTfy or Microsoft Copilot or whatever Google's platform. It doesn't really matter so much after a point. It goes back to what you were saying earlier. Like they all get that they need to incorporate AI, right? To remain competitive and to move as fast as everybody else in the marketplace is moving. They also know what is the outcome they're looking for, whether it's improve my win rate
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
the goal, so, the tool that we want to use as an enterprise. And really the question is, what combination of technologies would let you do that? What vendors would you work with to do this? Because what you just said about trusted partners and how long you've been doing is so on point. In my past life, I used to be an enterprise architect. There are vendors which I look at and I'm like, how much experience do you have in
Exactly.
enterprises, right?
Yeah, yeah. 100%. And I think that trust is huge for an enterprise customer, right? They don't want to risk it. There could be incredibly amazing companies that are at the forefront of stuff, but they're not yet proven. Are you going to risk things by choosing them? That's the problem. And there's lots of companies that are coming with innovative solutions. The question is, are they ready to buy? No, they see a lot of risk. And I think that's where there's more caution from their side towards more trusted platforms, trusted products, trusted partners. That's inevitable. But the other part of this is also that monolithic solutions are no longer relevant. So you have to now look at things that are going across technologies, infrastructure. How does AWS and Salesforce work? Or how does so the world is changing. And I think Salesforce also recognizes it. And so everyone's realizing that we have to move past trying to bring everything into one place and saying that it's all Salesforce. And I don't think we are in that world also anymore. So
Yeah, for sure. Particularly large enterprises. I find that Salesforce is definitely a strategic platform, but so is SAP for them. So is Microsoft, Oracle,
exactly.
right? So is probably GCP, AWS, whatever they're using. They have homegrown solutions. So is Snowflake, Redshift, Fabric, right? Like they have a whole ton of things that they're dealing with. And I think back to your point earlier around, that what large enterprises will have is a combination of technologies.
Exactly.
Uh, I think being a true partner and being interoperable has probably never been more important than it is today.
100%. I think that you've hit it on the nail. That is exactly what they're looking for. Don't solve my problems in silos. You got to give me something that works across my enterprise, right? Or interoperability is there. And if you construct a workflow that spans across my ERP and CRM and everything, it should all flow and work. So that's definitely a consideration for a lot of customers.
Yeah. And I think when I even reflect on our journey, so GPTfy has been in production for 2 years with customers, a lot of large enterprises, Fortune 500 type customers. And one of the things that we are now very heavily investing is that interoperability. It's one thing that you can have agentic capabilities, which obviously we do, Salesforce does, and a bunch of other people do. You can turn them on. But if my agentic capability that you just deployed does not work with your SAP's Joule or
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do a quote to cash, right? I'm like,
No, you can. Yeah.
I'm like on Slack or Teams or Copilot. I'm like, hey, create me a quote for ABC Corporation, which you can go to GPT-5, we can create a quote, integrate with CPQ, do all that. But delivery has to come from SAP, right? The
Yeah.
credit
Yeah.
worthiness of the customer may have to come from NetSuite.
Yeah.
But like we are talking about an orchestration and enterprise
Exactly.
first
Exactly.
again, but now with a sprinkle of AI on it.
Yeah, 100%. It's really coming down to that orchestration and interoperability across all of these systems. Solving all these processes span across different systems. So it's definitely not localized. So no one will be able to solve it from just their own little world. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And all these companies recognize it. That is why they're investing so much. If you look at where even Salesforce is headed. And I like the fact that they're all in. There is nobody can stand on the sidelines on this topic. Either you're a skeptic or you're all in. And it's a good thing that Salesforce is all in because they are focused on making this better and better as a platform. And I think that's a heartening sign for customers and they're making all the right investments. So when people ask, right, I think this was who's the other co-founder of Salesforce, Parker, right? I think the question was asked to him and he said the same thing. We don't have a choice. We have to be all in. And I think that's the right way for Salesforce to view this as well.
No,
That
yeah, we've obviously built our business on the platform, and I'm so glad that we did. Back to your point on trusted platform, works really well. Like we have Fortune 5 type customers as well, where literally the only reason we got in was because we are built on top of a platform they love and trust. So I am
yeah. So
very,
we're all in. We love the platform. We want to see more success and we want to see that they're evolving the agentic AI in the right direction, which they are. I definitely feel that that's all happening. I think this intermediate journey of a product being launched and it's still nascent and it's still evolving. At that time, when you're selling, there's still a lot of questions you need to answer. But
Yeah.
as it gets mature, those questions will also disappear.
And
That's much it.
they've done this before, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
it
this
is
is not
very
the first time. Great
self
leaders,
study capability.
exactly.